name do I hear? Russell Westbrook is the name I'm hearing every day.
He's a very famous man.
You would think the only thing going on right now is that the Lakers. You would think the Lakers are number 1, number 2, number 3 seed in the West. As much as they talk about this team, but I get it.
It's the
La La
Lakers,
Land. It's
man.
Hollywood.
It's the Lakers.
It's the we got all those championship banners, star power. But listen, Russell Westbrook is a name I hear every single day. Frank Vogel is a name I hear every single week. You know the name that I have not heard that often that I would love to start hearing, because this man needs to be brought to, as Charlamagne the God would say on Breakfast Club, he needs to be brought to the front of the congregation. Rob Pelinka is a name that I would love to actually start hearing more. Because I told you guys, I don't know about other Lakers fans, but for me, I was not in love with this roster. I haven't been in love with our roster even when we won the championship 2 years ago. I was in love with the roster. I was in love with that roster. But this particular year, like this past offseason, as I was seeing all these moves made, I was telling you, I was telling our audience on the show, I was telling my boys, I was not a fan of what the front office was doing. And I don't understand why Russell Westbrook is the main scapegoat, and then Frank Vogel is like the other scapegoat. I don't get how that's happening, because, and how they not mentioning Rob Pelinka, because the bottom line is, look at this team that's been constructed. Right. It's not a well-constructed team. When you look at Golden State, well-constructed team. When you look at the Phoenix Suns, well-constructed team. Memphis, they exceeded my expectations so far, but they're a well-constructed team. Utah, Milwaukee, look at the team they put around Giannis, and this is why they're probably going to come out of the East again. Look at Miami. Well-constructed team, well-coached, good culture. When I look at this Lakers team, I don't even understand their identity. They're not well-constructed at all.
So you have a problem with the leadership. You have a problem with the GM. You got a problem with the president of operations.
He's the VP operations and the GM.
I
got a problem with that anyway.
So, did you pay attention to what Magic did when he made his move? When he left the team, the organization, he pointed out the too many people in the mix trying to make decisions. And that was the reason why he got out, because too many hands in the pie. People that aren't equipped to do it, okay? Right. And he said, "I don't want anything to do with it." He got
out at the right time, even though it's unfortunate that he wasn't able to still be with the organization when we won the championship. Right. I'm not in his shoes, but if they took it, if the Lakers front office took advice from fans, I would just give them a common sense answer. All you had to do is go back and look at the teams that LeBron has been on that's been successful. Look at those teams, because he's won in Cleveland, he's won in Miami, then he won one in LA. Look at hold on.
Well, I can't blame LeBron.
No, I'm not performing well. I'm not blaming LeBron. I'm not talking about LeBron James. He's the least of my worry. He's the one person who's the least of at 37 years old. I can't believe I'm saying this, but he's the least of my worries. I'm going back to Rob Pelinka. If you look at LeBron's teams in the past, where he's had success, he's always been on a good defensive team. He's always had shooters around him. When you look at this team right now, they've been stripped of I mean, they don't have any strong defenders. You got Avery Bradley, okay, who's defensive minded. You got Dwight Howard, who's defensive minded, and you have sometimes Anthony Davis is defensive minded. That's all you have in terms of perimeter shooting. Where is it?
Anthony Davis is all you have.
So I'm saying, if you are the VP of operations and you are the GM, your main goal should be, okay, if LeBron and AD are the guys that's not expendable, these guys are going nowhere. We're building around them, which still sounds crazy because one is injury prone and one is 37 years old. But if these are your two guys, you have to bring guys over to the organization that's going to complement their style of play. And that's defenders, and that's perimeter shooters.
And on top of that,
whose fault is that you bring?
Frank Vogel is known to be a defensive coach.
Exactly.
So if he's a defensive specialist type of coach, did he get advice from him when he chose these? Because I got a feeling he didn't. And I got a feeling that, I hate to say it, that LeBron might have been involved in some of the choices that they had on this roster. The older guys, we knew as soon as they started picking a lot of these older guys, where's the defense coming from? Where's the young legs that's going to be on the floor at the halfway point of the year to take you home to get to the playoffs?
It just doesn't make sense. When you look at Golden State. When you look at Golden State, right? We joked them for 2 years.
I didn't joke them.
I'm saying a lot of people joked them for a couple of years. And the reason being is because Obviously, Clay was out for a couple years. KD had left. Steph was hurt 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he played last year, had an MVP type season, but
Right.
he couldn't carry that full load himself. You had a lot of young, inexperienced
Right.
guys, but guess what? That investment, that 2-year investment in all those young guys,
That's right.
it's working now.
Mm-hmm.
It's working now because Steph is still playing at a high level. You got Draymond out there, even though he's not healthy right now. Clay's back, and those young guys have developed. They have confidence, and now there's a cohesiveness, there's a chemistry because they've been with Steph for like 3 seasons now.
Right.
So that to me, like front office wise, that's smart.
But they understand they were building something, and it wasn't this thing that was going to happen overnight.
Right.
The Lakers put this team together thinking that they were going to win a title this year.
And I still don't understand.
And how can you bring all those different pieces in together and think that chemistry and everything's going to flow well, especially with the age and not guys that are known for playing defense like that. I mean, you cannot win with no defense. And not to have another big man knowing how AD is injury prone.
You don't know how bad I miss JaVale McGee. You don't know how bad I miss JaVale McGee.
And when you look at the payroll of this Laker team, it's embarrassing to know that
they LeBron
James is making $41 million. You got Russell Westbrook making $44. You got AD making $35. And then everybody else is down here. I mean, the only other one that's making a decent salary is THT, and he's making $9.5 million. Everybody else is at the minimum almost, at $1.6 million. And I'm just saying to myself, all that money, and I hate to say it, spent on Westbrook when they didn't need to do that.
And listen, the thing about it is, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not even no offense to Russ, because I still respect Russ. You can't take away what he's done in his career.
Oh, no,
it's no offense to Russ, but the bottom line is
taking on that contract.
But not even just taking on the contract, and also it just made no sense. I said that. I'm telling you, I'm a diehard Lakers fan, and I told y'all I did not like this roster even before we stepped on the floor for our first offseason game. I didn't understand it. You bring Russell Westbrook over, you already have a ball dominant point forward in LeBron, and then you got AD, who when AD's out there, LeBron has even said it in the past, we trying to run the offense through you. So you bring Russell Westbrook, a guy who can't shoot, okay? You know, a guy he's really been successful when he's been ball dominant. It's not like I would love to see him go back to what he did in Houston, right? Because in Houston he averaged 27 a game. He played off the ball more because James Harden was a ball hawk. He was a ball dominant guy.
Right.
But he actually complimented that James Harden well on that team. Well, he shot one of his better shooting percentages. But here's the difference: they were a better constructed team because they had defenders and they had shooters all over the place.
Right.
So you bring Russell Westbrook over here. You still don't have defense. And you don't have shooters all over the place. You just think that he's going to work with LeBron and AD. Makes zero sense to me.